In today's video, we're here in Spring Hill, Florida to talk to a power couple who has reimagined laundry.
Where you buy your equipment from and that relationship is absolutely
so important.
Huge. They're willing to stand behind you and help you in the process.
I would say believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing and stand on business.
They've invested $2 million and we're going to find out, was it worth it? We're here at Dirty Britches with Lisa and Rob, and welcome, guys.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for being here.
So tell us about Dirty Britches. How big's the space? How many machines do you have, and what's your ownership structure?
We have about 4,500 square feet, and we have 34 washers, 36 dryers, and the two of us are not only partners in life, but partners in business.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for starting Dirty Britches?
The inspiration was we wanted to get into laundry and we wanted to do something different that nobody else was doing, and we basically decided to flip laundry on its head. So when the idea first began, it was, okay, how can we do this different? What is the industry doing and what can we do to turn it upside down?
So how many locations do you have?
We have one. This is our pilot store. We will be 1 year old in September, on September 13th. So we're very excited about that.
Well, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we're outside of the beautiful Dirty Britches. How did you guys pick the space, and tell us about the area?
We started looking at laundromats in the Tampa Bay area. We started with ones that were for sale. This one happened to be for sale, but it was a very small, old laundromat. It was about 1,500 square feet, which we weren't really interested in. We wanted to go bigger and larger and nicer. So we actually said no to that laundromat, but we were in the process of looking for space to lease. Within that picture of the 3,000 square feet that we could lease, there was a sign of a laundromat that said Spring Hill Laundromat. And I said, wow, Lisa, I think that's the one we just said no to. So upon a little bit further investigation, that was in fact the one we said no to. So we said, well, why don't we just knock the wall down, blow it out, and turn it into a 4,500 square foot laundromat? And that's exactly what we did. And the things just fell into place. We honestly felt it was a God thing, where, you know, it was definitely felt it was a God thing, because everything just fell into place. They had the exact amperage of electric that we needed. They had exactly the plumbing that we needed. And it just was a perfect situation. You know, in addition to that, the road frontage was great. The price for the lease was great. And there's very little competition in the area. And the competition we did have in the area, we weren't very concerned about. So it was just a great location for us.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, we're on a pretty busy road here.
Busy road.
So Spring Hill's a relatively small town.
Relatively small town, yes.
And this is a pretty good sized laundromat.
It is.
What were you guys thinking?
We were thinking go big or go home.
Well, I think we also thought that if you built something bigger and nicer, that people would actually go past other laundromats to come to ours.
Right.
And that's something we speculated, but it's proving to be true.
Right. We've actually seen people drive over 45 minutes, 40 minutes to come to the store. It's actually become a destination location laundromat. So we're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, we actually had to change our marketing and expand it from, say, a 5-mile radius to a 15 to a 20. And we're going to push the envelope and see how far we can go and see what our return on ad spend is, and see if it makes sense to just continue pushing that out.
Yeah. Let us know what you find.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's go inside.
Sounds good.
And take a look. All right, guys. So here we've got your beautiful wash, dry, fold area.
Yes.
You guys have a really unique customer experience that starts even before people come in the door. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So before you even enter the door of Dirty Britches Laundry, we notice if people are coming out carrying their baskets. I mean, you see people struggling, and that laundry gets really heavy, as you guys know. So we really strive to have all of our Dirty Divas meet our customers in the parking lot with a cart, and that developed organically. When we opened, Rob and I just saw a need that people needed help. They genuinely needed help, and they weren't getting that help at other laundromats. So we were like, you know what? Let's give them the help they need and deserve.
All right, so the Dirty Divas are here.
They're here.
And then let's move on. So we're here at your payment station.
Yes.
It looks like you've got the option to get quarters or change, as well as use laundry pay. Can you tell us about that?
Sure.
First machine here, whatever you want to call it here, is a bill breaker, so they can change larger denomination of bills to smaller ones. We have the regular change machine over here, where you can put anything up to a $20 bill in there and get $20 worth of quarters if you choose. And the second way of paying would be, so you can use either coins machines or we have the app, which is part of the Laundrolux machines. By downloading the app, they can pay with the app. They can link a credit card to it, pay that way, or they can take actually a stash, load it into this little kiosk here, and just that is added to their balance app of it. So they can either link it to their credit card or debit card, or they can just link cash onto that. We get about 65% of our customers using the Laundry Pay app. We like it because we get information, we get data on the customer, which is always important. They like it because it has a notification when their wash is done. So actually, we set a timer, it'll ding, let them know it's finished. But it'll also build rewards points for them. There are some customers that have earned $80, $90 in rewards since we opened, which is fantastic. They love it. They're rewarded for their loyalty, which is great.
Yeah. So it sounds like however they want to pay,
Absolutely.
you're going to help them do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That's great. All right. So then moving on, you've got this really cool sign here, guys. How cool
So
is this?
great. This is my favorite part of the store, actually.
This is all Lisa here. This is all Lisa. Actually, all the design is Lisa. I had a couple minor inputs, but it's all Lisa.
Way to go, Lisa.
Thank you.
We'll talk
Thank
more
you.
about that as we go along, but you crushed it. The water fountains here, a hand sink, which is so helpful for customers.
Very helpful.
You've got dryers here, and then we've got washers over here. What was your thoughts on the layout?
Well, we weren't really sure how to lay out a laundromat when we first got started, so we relied heavily on our Laundrolux distributors for that help. When laying out the store, we did know we wanted the focal point to be this beautiful subway tile wall that we have running along the back of the store. So we definitely wanted the dryer banks along the back wall so that we could do the tile, the subway tile. As far as the washing machines, we just truly went with whatever Laundrolux said.
And I will say, as far as the subway tile, some people wonder, well, where did you get your inspiration? If I can be honest with you, you're sitting at a bar in New York City called The Smith, and we were sitting there saying, wow, we should put subway tile in the laundromat. And that's exactly
Crazy,
how that
right?
came to
Because
fruition.
nobody does that. So we were like, we will.
That's great. All right, so then moving on, we've got some washers over here. Can you tell us a little bit about the washers and the sizes?
Yeah, we have a good mix, I think. We have 8 18-pounders, I believe 6 30-pounders, 8 45, 8 60s, and 4 80s. So I feel like our mix is really good that we have.
So we've got some 45-pound machines over here. Can you tell us a little bit more about this equipment?
Sure.
The number one reason we went with Laundrolux was because of a guy named Dan Yoon. There's absolutely no doubt he's the reason we did business with Laundrolux.
You know, I just happened to give Dan a call one day, and he actually picked up the phone, and we had an amazing conversation. And I said after that conversation, if we're going to get in the laundry business, that's the guy I want to do business with, to be quite honest with you. It just also happened to turn out that the machines are terrific. They spin amazingly fast. These are 450Gs, so they extract so much water, the dry time is just virtually nil. The other thing we liked about it is for those vertically challenged people, this has a front-facing soapbox. So it's really simple. You don't have to, blindly pour over the top of the machine. You can just simply load it. The touchscreen is simple. It comes in, I don't even know how many languages, 30-something languages, which is great. So everything from French to Polish, Portuguese, to Spanish, which is fantastic. So there's a lot of things we liked about the machines, and the customers love it. They absolutely love it.
So much customer convenience here.
Yes.
And then it looks like we've also got a QR code. Tell us about that.
That's to utilize the app. So really, really simply, I don't have my phone on me, but literally they can download it from here, or they can start there. Literally, you just hit the camera icon. That'll take you to the App Store. They can download the app. But once the app is downloaded, it's literally, you open up the app, you hit the camera icon, you scan the QR code, get pay, and then hit the start button, you're done.
Boom.
So it's great.
Quick and easy.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Very
All right.
simple.
So then moving on, we've got some 30-pound machines over on this side. We've got some 60s over here. Looks like these are these
Smaller
20s?
18 pounds.
18, yep.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Then we wanted our mix of 80-pounders up front so that everyone could see the big machines when they come in.
That's right. Make it easier for people
Yes.
who've got a lot of things
Yes.
to get in quickly.
Yes.
So we've got some lovely baskets here. You've really even thought about how you store these. What was your
Yes.
thought process behind this?
I'm kind of an organizational neat freak. So when it came to organizing the store, everything has to have a place and everything in its place. And as we have found out, that's very important in this business because things get chaotic and crazy and all over the place on a Saturday or Sunday or any day, honestly. So to be able to have a space for each part to go was extremely important. So they weren't scattered all over the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then moving on, you actually have 2 automatic doors.
2 automatic
Make
doors.
sure that it's very easy to come in here.
Very important, very important.
Well, one thing I will say on the doors and everything else in the store, everything that we did in the store was on purpose. You know what I mean? There was definitely everything from the tile to the grout color. I mean, if you just saw the amount of time Lisa spent on every single little item, the lights, and you can look at the bulbs in a second. They represent bubbles in the washing machine. There's so many things in the store that she thought about. Just amazing. I mean, I'm talking about the tops. What are the tops going to be made of? Who's going to manufacture those tops for us? The legs. What are the legs going to look like? The grout color, the tile. Every single thing in this store had thought, including the front doors. You know, we were
The
thinking about
bathrooms.
the bathrooms. Lisa
Yeah.
was like, you know, here's a mom coming in with 2 or 3 kids and armfuls of laundry. How are we going to get through the door trying to navigate a swing door? And that was
Right.
impossible. So we're like, you know what? We're going to do 2 doors. And we're going to do electric.
Convenience.
Yeah.
Convenience.
Lots of convenience.
All about the customer.
So then moving on, we've got another 80-pound machine over here. Oh, an 80-pound machine over here as well. Yep. And then we've got some 60s in here. And I have
See
to
that the
say,
machines are going.
there you go, the machines are going.
Yay.
And one of the things I want to point out is how much room you have
Lots of
between your
space.
aisles, right?
Yeah.
So even when these doors are open on
Right.
both sides,
Right.
there's still so much room,
Yeah.
right? So moving on,
Ha ha ha.
we've got your big dryers here. Can you tell us
These
about
are the
those?
big daddies. These are everyone's favorite. They want to climb in and do yoga poses. These are 80-pound dryers, which we absolutely love. And I think next time we're going to need a few more of them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Definitely need a couple more because the 80-pounders seem to be our most popular machine along with the 60s. So when people get a couple of big loads going in those, these 80-pounders really save the day on dry time.
Now, do you guys use full cycle dry?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
And
Yep.
so for those of you who are watching at home, basically what that means is customers pay one time to dry their entire load as opposed to adding a few minutes at a time.
Yeah. And we find that the customers like that better. They really like knowing that, hey, I put my money in, I start my machine, I can walk away and come back and it's finished.
So we've got more dryers over here. What size are these?
These are our medium, so I'm not really sure. No, these are our large.
No, these
Yeah.
are, well, mediums. Yeah, these are
Yeah.
mediums.
They're 50s.
They are 50s.
Yeah. So we've got your 50-pound dryers
Okay.
over here. And so then moving along, we've got your vending machines over here, your
Our
goodies.
vending, our goodies are over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of customers that use your vending machines?
We actually do. It's taken a little hit or miss to try to figure out what to put in your vending machine to see what's selling, what's not selling, what's expiring. But overall, this has been something that customers come in and before they even start their laundry, they'll come straight over to the vending machines and get a snack. So it's turned out to be a cool thing.
Now, do you all own the vending machines and
We
do
do.
you restock them yourselves?
We do, yes. And looking into when we opened, we checked out companies that would come and do it for us, but we just decided, you know what, let's just buy the machines, we'll do it ourselves, and it really doesn't take long and it's not that difficult.
So moving on, we've got more washers on the left and then pretty far away, right? A nice
far
spacious
away.
distance. We've got your little britches laundry
Our little britches, this is where our little britches come.
right?
yes.
And I love how huge it is.
Yes,
You can
it
fit like a
is.
whole gaggle of children in here.
A whole gaggle of children and then some. This is my favorite space in here. I come from a background of education, so in building a space, it was very important. And you know, I used to be a single mom and having to use a laundromat and bring my kids in. And one, they were places that I didn't want to take take them to because they were either unsafe or so dirty that I didn't want them to touch anything. And there was nothing for them to do. They were always so incredibly bored when we went. So in building this space, it was really important for me to make a space for the kids as well, that they could come in, they can pretend to do their washing, they can pretend to do their things. There's a reading nook, they can sit, they can, you know, we have families that come in and have lunch and dinner right here at the kids' table. So a whole picnic. So it's been really fun to watch the experience. You know, it gets parents involved. They are washing their clothes, they get it started, and then they have, 30 minutes to kill in between. So they're over here playing with their kids until they have to dry and fold the clothes. So it's been a great experience all the way around.
Yeah.
It's great with the massive folding tables right here.
Yeah.
You know, the moms or dads can do their laundry, fold them here while the kids are right here. It was just a great set.
Yeah.
So then moving on, we've got this really lovely wall
Yeah.
of TVs.
Yes.
And I know we've got old movies playing, we've got a variety of channels.
Yes.
And what I love is it's kind of dedicated to this one area as opposed to being sprinkled throughout the store.
Right.
What was the thought process here?
Cozy place to make it like, if we want to be like family and treat people like family, we wanted a living room. We wanted it to feel when you're at home and you're doing laundry, you're sitting on your couch, you're watching TV, you've got a chandelier maybe hanging above you, maybe not, but you do here. So it really was just putting something together that people would feel cozy and at home in, and I think we pulled it off.
So then moving on, I would love to check out the back of
Okay.
your laundromat.
Okay.
Want to give us a tour?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You lead the way.
So what do we have back here?
It's where the magic happens.
Yeah, so here's the back of the dryers. This is where all the ventilation is, all the makeup air. This is just where our vending items are back here. So if you go back and you'll see some massive, makeup air is always talked about in the industry. So there's some massive, I'm not even sure what you'd call them, openings at the top, obviously, for all the makeup air. I'd say the one thing I would do a little bit differently in this backspace is move the wall back another 2 feet.
Right.
It would just give us a little bit more room for shelving, extra parts we could store on the walls, things of that nature. It's a little bit cramped right now.
Yeah, storage.
Yeah.
There's
storage.
never enough storage.
Yep.
So can you tell us more about the airflow?
Well, the exhaust for the dryers goes out the back wall, and the makeup air is all on the ceiling here. And there are three, I'm not an engineer at all, mechanical engineer, but there are three massive vents, if you will, that allow tons of fresh air to come in here. So obviously the dryers burn more efficiently.
So we are in Florida
Yes,
and it gets hot here,
very.
but it feels pretty good in here.
Yeah.
How do you make that happen?
Well, I mean, our goal is to keep it at a constant 74 degrees. And when we first opened, we had 3 5-ton units that, according to the mechanical engineer, that's what we needed to keep the space cool. What it didn't factor in is the lack of insulation on the roof, or maybe the color of the roof, if you will. It was dirty, it was black. And our roof temperature, actually, using a thermal laser gun, was 118 degrees. Last
Yeah.
September. So we
Yeah.
couldn't keep this place below 82 degrees. So we said, okay, something's got to happen. So the first thing we did was we painted an elastomeric white paint on the roof, and that dropped the temperature in here. I think if I were to shoot it right now, it'd be 80 degrees. So it dropped it
Significantly.
30 some odd degrees, which was fantastic. That took the heat load off, and we were able to cool the space. But one of the things we were really, really concerned with was we wanted to make sure that this space was cool. We hear stories all the time about laundromats that are 82 degrees. That's not the experience we want for our customer. So we actually installed recently 2 Mitsubishi mini splits, 2 tons each, which are right up here above in the rafters here. And that in and of itself, so if anything goes down, we always have backup. So we never, ever, ever want to see it higher than 74 degrees.
Well, you can feel it. It feels
Yeah,
great.
feels good. Feels good for sure.
So I have to imagine that you didn't dream as a little child of
No.
being in the laundromat business.
No.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background before you got into laundry?
My background is in education, so I'm coming from a completely different realm altogether, except for when the kids come in and play in the kids' play area. It sounds like my classroom. So So I'm used to that. But Rob comes from an entrepreneurial background.
Yeah, I've probably been an entrepreneur since I was 12 years old, starting my first paper route. And then from there, I've had my own business since 1995. And right now our other business, we do have another business. We do marketing for the Medicare space. So this is a complete departure, first retail experience ever.
So what inspired you to go for it on laundry?
It honestly came from my perspective when I was a single mom and I had to use a laundromat. And it really was born from that experience and how awful it actually was. And then I never wanted to use a laundromat ever again in my life if I didn't have to. And so based on that experience is how we formed and developed and came up with what we actually wanted from our store and how it was going to be different.
I think it was basically find an industry that was underserved and change it and flip it on its head.
Yeah.
No different than maybe Topgolf did with driving ranges, car washes did with the self-service car wash. We looked at laundry and said, wow.
There's got to be a better way.
The bar was so low that there's a huge opportunity there. That's how all these ideas started.
So it seems like you guys put a lot of time and attention into this business. What's your time commitment look like?
It's not too bad. It's definitely a time commitment. It's not passive income, like everyone likes to say. That is not true. But I'd say in the store, maybe 20 hours a week. Outside of the store, back at home, maybe another 20.
Yeah.
But nothing too terrible.
All right, well, great. Can you show us around?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So now that we've seen the back of your business, can you show us the bathrooms?
Absolutely. Happy to show you the bathroom.
Wow, this is a beautiful bathroom.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about
We
your
have
bathroom?
artwork, we have changing tables in both. It was very important that even coming into the bathroom that people felt like they had a space of to come into. So that actually sounded a little nice. So changing tables in both, artwork just hanging there, a fun little space just to use the restroom. It's always clean. We are very, very meticulous about a clean bathroom, just as much as we are a clean store. My mother always said that when you go into a place, you can tell how they keep the place run by the way their bathrooms are kept. So I've taken that advice with me.
Yeah, so for those of you at home, we literally have gold handles by the toilet. We've got a changing station and we've got some really cute artwork up on the wall.
Yeah.
So well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we've gotten to see your beautiful bathrooms. Now we're standing in your wash, dry, fold area. Can you tell us what services you have?
So far, we do drop off and pick up with pickup and delivery soon to come. We are actually going to utilize a vehicle and make that a special service as well as far as the car and the vehicle that's used. So that's exciting.
Well, probably I'd say maybe 20% of our revenue is from wash, dry, fold right now, or wash and go. And I think we really haven't put a huge emphasis on it. We want to make sure that we work everything out in the store here, make sure we get our processes down, our procedures down, and things of that nature. And then real soon, we're going to make a huge marketing push, on that side.
Yeah. So for those of us at home, what is wash and go?
So wash and go is really where somebody comes in and says, listen, I don't need you to fold my clothes. I just don't have the time to do this. Can you just wash it, dry it, stick it back in the bag, and I'll come pick it up. And that's exactly what we do. During the week, Monday through Friday, we have a 2-hour turnaround. So literally our Divas will literally just take the clothes, do exactly that. And within 2 hours, we'll notify them and they come pick up their clothes. The second option is the wash, dry, fold, where they say, listen, I don't even have time really to do the folding myself. Can you fold it for us? And we'll meticulously fold the clothes, package it, put it in a beautiful bag, just like this one over here that says Dirty Britches Laundry on it, and give it back to them.
And then soon we'll have the pickup and delivery option, where we will literally pick it up in a black car. Looks like black car service for your laundry.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Limo service for your laundry.
Literally, call the laundry chauffeur.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the split is between residential and commercial laundry for you?
Sure. It's 0% commercial. We have no commercial accounts thus far. But we are just getting into the groove of our wash, dry, fold. It's something we kind of held back on for just a little bit until we were ready to launch, because we're very meticulous again about how we do things. So the folding, the packaging, everything was really, really important for detail.
So on that note, let's dig more into the dollars and cents behind your store.
Okay, sounds good.
So tell us about, what do the washers and dryers cost?
Well, when people come in, they think it's going to cost a lot more than it actually is, which is kind of fun to let them know that we are a premium brand. And we do have premium pricing, but it's not premium pricing that puts them, it's affordable luxury. It's not pricing that puts them out of the ballpark and they can't afford to come do their laundry.
Correct. Yeah, we're only probably a quarter more, maybe 50 cents more than our competition. But for what you get here, I think most people feel it's well worth it.
The value's there.
For sure.
So affordable luxury, I love that.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the initial investment and how's it going?
The build out on the space was probably probably $1 million. I think to build out the space was $1 million. And then, the machines, we probably spent $9.25 on the machines. So it was, 1.925, somewhere in there, maybe close to $2 million for the space. But, one of the things that we wanted to do was, we built this space, and in the process of building this space, we knew that we could be the leader in the market. So we don't ever want to be a commodity. We don't ever want to be price. I think if you're not offering value to the consumer, then all you have is price.
Right.
And we don't ever want to do that. We don't ever want to be that. So we created so much value in this space, not only in the wash, dry, fold, but in what we do in here, that we can be the market leader. We have to be aware of our market and what they're able to pay. But nonetheless, we can be leaders in the market, and we are leaders in the market for sure.
Yeah.
What were the terms of your lease? What made you choose to go with a lease versus buying a building?
We had to go with the lease. We didn't have an option. They told us that's what we were doing. But we did a 10 and 2 5s for the lease. Would we do it again? It depends. It depends on the space. It depends on the location. All of the demographics have to line up. The numbers have to back out. What we would like to do is build our own standalone store. That's the goal. But again, you don't know what life throws at you. So, we're just kind of playing it by ear, but there's definitely going to be a second store.
Yeah.
And 3 and 4 and 5 and lot, hopefully.
And I think it depends on the opportunity. If there's a space to lease that makes sense. This one made sense because there was a laundromat already here. The electrical was already in place. The water was already in place. Had somewhat of a client base.
Impact fees were taken care of.
The impact fees were taken care of. The Family Dollars, 2 doors down. So all of those things were in place. It just made sense in this case to lease it.
So did you get any TI money? And then if so, what improvements did you make to the space?
We did. We got $68,000 from the landlord, which was great. And it's not like we did anything specific with the 68.
Bathrooms.
When we negotiated with her, we had to basically say, look, we need 2 new bathrooms, we need this, we need that. But nonetheless, that $68,000 went, in essence, just towards the total build.
Right.
Or at the end, it went to pay off some of the debt, I should say.
So what were some of the considerations that went into your lease and the things that you did in your lease negotiations?
I think the important thing was they had to be willing to get out to 20 years, a 20-year term, so 10-year with 2 5-year options. That was hugely important. I think 20 is the magic number there.
So can you talk about the timeline and how long it took for you guys to go from idea to execution?
Yeah, concept to execution. That's a good one. We started talking about it for probably about 5 months or so.
Yeah.
And the talking about it phase. And then once we got started with that, we had a couple months of waiting on.
We were negotiating the lease. We had the architectural plans.
That's right.
Just a number of things where really nothing happened.
And then a year to build. So about 10 to 12 months for build out. So 15, 16 months or more,
longer, yeah.
or maybe a little longer. Yeah.
Fast forwarding, you opened. And how has business been?
Amazing. It's been amazing. To see the look on people's faces when they come in is absolutely priceless. And then once they're in here, the experience that they get from our Dirty Divas to the cleanliness of the store, all of it it impacts business in a positive way. You just can't ignore it.
So monthly cash flow, what does that look like for you guys?
We were cash flow positive within 7 months.
7 months. That's
7
all
months.
That's paying all debt,
Yeah.
all debt service, everything. Right?
Yeah. So 7 months is pretty great. Did you have working capital set aside in case it took longer?
We did. We still do.
Yeah. What was your thought process behind working capital?
Just leave something there. Basically, we didn't want to extend ourselves to the point where we didn't have money to now use for marketing or, any advertising, like whatever we needed to do on that side of things. We didn't want to stretch ourselves so then that we didn't have backup in case we needed to come back in and help ourselves out.
Right. So thinking back, what advice would you give to newbies?
Believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. We had a lot of skeptics and a lot of doubters and some haters, but I would say believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing and stand on business.
Believe in yourself, absolutely. I mean, you have to unwavering. You just have to say, you know what? I don't understand this, but we knew nothing about the business. We absolutely knew
Nothing.
But I didn't find it intimidating because I figured, you know what? We're going to figure it out. This isn't, you asked me to build a rocket ship, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You don't want to get on that rocket.
We aren't going to the moon.
You asked me to fly a plane, you don't want me flying it. But I think in this industry, I looked at it as, we looked at it as, this isn't rocket science. We're going to figure it out. So I would say, the first thing is you got to believe in yourself and just believe that, you know what? You might not know it today, but you might know it tomorrow. You can learn it. The information's there. The CLA is a great resource. Other laundromat owners, maybe not your market, outside your market, are a great resource. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is think outside the box and just look at it from the customer's perspective.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Right.
If you can solve a need for them and give them a better experience, you may win a loyal customer.
Yeah.
So think outside the box.
Yeah. What role did partnerships play in your business?
Huge. I mean, as I said earlier, the reason we went with Laundromat, there's a lot of help out there, not just the Coin Laundry Association, Facebook. People are going to give advice there, obviously, but where you buy your equipment from and that relationship is absolutely
So important.
huge. And are they willing to stand behind you and help you in the process?
For resources like the ones Rob and Lisa used to reimagine laundry, be sure to check out CLA at the laundryassociation.org, scan the QR code, or click the link below.